Want free COD points? Ain't got money. Stop using Razorback. Listen here, buddy. There's a link in the description. I want you to tap. Click that. Earn points. Download the app. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video. Now in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Vesper and how good is the Vesper after the last patch. We all know the history of the Vesper. It was at one point the best gun in the game, then they nerfed it to one of the worst guns in the game, then they brought it back to one of the best guns in the game, and now apparently in the last patch, which came out last Tuesday, they nerfed it again. And basically what the nerf was is it has more recoil now, and they said the recoil is similar to how it was last patch. So as soon as I got back from Germany, I hopped on and I played a few games with it, and this is what happened. And I'm gonna have to tell you guys about my opinions about this Vesper and what this nerf actually did to it. If you guys all could drop a like on this thing, that would be absolutely awesome. If we could hit 2,000 likes on this video, that would be absolutely awesome. And let's talk a bit about the Vesper right here. So basically they said in the patch notes that this nerf brought it back to how it was before the patch. That is completely untrue from my experience. I played quite a few games with it. This here is one of the first games I played with it, and I think like 80 kills or something like that in 8 minutes, and this hardpoint we smacked them. The final score is like 250 to 50, so the game didn't even go close to as long as it should have gone. And if this game was a 250 to a 200, this would have easily been 100 plus kills, like literally no problem. The Vesper is not nerfed completely. The Vesper is still a god gun, and I think they just put that in the patch notes to try to scare people away, because the Vesper was so flippin' overpowered. It was one of the most overpowered guns in the history, because they even made a rule on the UMG website that, you know, you could have a setting to play without Vespers. Everyone was complaining. All the pro players were complaining, saying the Vesper was too good. Even the pro players actually had sort of like a gentleman's agreement that no one would use the Vesper because it was so good and so annoying to play with and against because of how fast it melted, and that's why they had to nerf this gun. Now, this gun is still really good. The nerf definitely is there. You know, you can definitely notice it has a little bit more recoil, but as far as being like it was before the last patch, that is completely untrue. This gun still melts, and you can see from this gameplay, I'm going absolutely off with it. The Vesper, I would still say, it's between the Vesper and the VMP for top SMG, and they're both the best SMG in their own regards. The VMP is the best SMG for more of a long range, medium to long range gunfight, and or that could even be the Weevil. And then the Vesper is still, and always will be, the best at close range, and this gun is still absolutely dominant. Now, as far as the class setup with this thing, do I recommend changing the class setup? No, not at all. What you want to run with the Vesper is the exact same before the patch, after the patch. No matter what they do to this gun, you're always going to need the grip, and it always is going to have that fast fire rate, so you're always going to want to run extended mags, fast mags, and grip. And then as far as perks, I usually just do flak jacket, scavenger, fast hand, and then tac mask. That's basically just my combat class setup, because this gun, you're going to be up in the enemy's faces. In a game mode like hardpoint on Nuketown, you can't sit back. There's literally no option to sit back. This gun does suck ass at long range. You're going to have to push up into the enemy spawns, and you're going to have to do that with this gun. But this gun still is a god gun, and I suggest that you guys, if you guys read the patch notes, maybe you just saw some other YouTubers. I'm not really sure what the whole YouTube community has been saying about this gun, because basically I was in Germany for a Gamescom event, which I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later in this commentary, because I do have a lot of time. This gameplay is pretty long. But this gun is definitely still very good, and it still is deadly. You know, I've seen people like switching to using the Kuda now and the Weevil, and the balance in this game is really good, and this last patch just adds to that balance. You know, nerfing the Vesper, which the Vesper was probably the best SMG, and now making it more debatable. The balance in this game is extremely good on all of the SMGs, and we can talk about that. The VMP, like I said, Vesper are both very good SMGs. Kuda is a very good SMG as well, and it did get nerfed recently, but that nerf is only at certain ranges, so it's only going to affect probably 10 to 15% of your gunfights. So the Kuda is still good, even though that nerf was pretty big. You know, the nerf was pretty big at a certain range, which you're only going to get in that range probably 10% of the time, if that makes any sense. There's a little bit of math to do there. The Weevil is one that I've always loved. I love the Weevil. The Weevil's such a good gun because you really need nothing on it. The gun is dominant. It has 50 bullets in a clip. You don't need to have grip on it. You don't need anything. The gun is just absolutely crazy. And the good thing about the Vesper as well is that you don't need to have stock, and you don't need to have quick draw, because it aims in so fast and it strafes so fast compared to the VMP. And that's another thing that a lot of people forget to mention mention about the Vesper is that the VMP has been steadily nerfed on its aim down sight speed, on its strafing speed. The Vesper, because during that time where they were nerfing the CUDA and the VMP's strafing and aim down sight speed, the Vesper was in the shit category. It was garbage, so they didn't even bother to nerf it. And now that the Vesper's back up, you don't need quick draw on this gun. You don't need stock. That's what really puts it, you know, in a different category than the VMP. You can afford to run extended mags, fast mags, and grip every single time. And that's basically it for the SMGs. The Weevil, like I said, very good. And then as well as the, what's the last one? The Razorback. People always think, because in my intro, you know, the little rap, I say, stop using Razorback. That's just to rhyme. The Razorback is a good SMG. I wouldn't say it's one of the best SMGs. I'd say it's just an average SMG. The gun is pretty good, though. It's another one like the Weevil. The Razorback, you don't really need grip on it. It melts people. And I suggest, you know, Razorback, you can really run like quick draw, fast mags, rapid fire. You can do some crazy setups with the Razorback, and that gun is pretty good as well. And then, of course, you have the HG40, which I'd say HG40 is still pretty weak as an SMG. And, yeah, that's definitely one of the weakest ones is the HG40. And then the last one, don't ever forget the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh is kind of in a weird place, and it's been a weird place since the start of the game. The start of the game, the Pharaoh was the best gun in the game. Like, it was pretty much non-debatable. The Pharaoh was absolutely dominant. It would melt people, literally one-burst people as an SMG, which was absolutely crazy. And then they nerfed it to a state where it's sort of like the Chickum from Black Ops 2, you know, not that good. And the Pharaoh has sort of just sat there. It's an okay weapon. It's a good weapon if you have rapid fire on it, but the Pharaoh is one of those where you really need the right class setup and the right situation for it to work. A gun like the M8A7 is going to be a one burst like maybe 30%, 40% of the time. A gun like the XR2 or the Pharaoh, those ones are really not consistently one burst, and you can really never expect a one burst with those guns. And that's basically my opinion on all the SMGs. But like I said, guys, Vesper still a god gun, still run it, still use that class setup, extended mag, fast mag, grip. If you're using anything other than that, I'm sorry, guys, but I don't know. Like, you need to run this. I mean, I don't usually say my class setups are the best of all time or anything like that, and you can't use your own. But on the Vesper, you need these attachments. Like, I couldn't imagine playing without the extended mags. You have a slow reload. Well, or without the extended mags, you have a small clip, is what I meant. You only have 30 in the clip. That's not enough to kill someone if you're pre-firing. Without fast mags, you have a super slow reload. And without grip, you really have you have so much recoil on the gun. And that's why I recommend this class up. So let me talk a bit about my trip, because a few people were asking on my last video. Yes, I went to Germany for Gamescom, which basically what Gamescom is it's like a big convention for video games. Obviously, it's sort of like a big version of PAX. And I went there because I actually went there to play Battlefield 1 early. They invited me out there to play Battlefield 1 early, and I said, you know, why not? I got nothing else to do. It's the summer, and unfortunately, when I was there, some new COD news dropped, which I was kind of upset about because I didn't really have a way to record. I don't really have a good laptop or anything like that, so I couldn't really record videos while I was there. But obviously, I'm making the videos now that I'm back, because when I was in Germany is when this Vesper thing actually dropped. But I got to play Battlefield 1 early, and I think I'm going to post one video on it and just talk about the game, because there's a big thing, like, Battlefield is always a hyped up game, and then usually, you know, people play it for like a week or two and then it dies out. But this year I think it's extremely hyped up because of the fact that Infinite Warfare, a lot of people have been hating on that game, and they were boosting up Battlefield 1 to sort of combat Infinite Warfare. And I played the game, and I'll give my opinions on it in a video that I make about some gameplay, because I have some early gameplay with it, and I definitely did have a good experience going to that event. You know, it would be my dream to go to some sort of COD event or something like that. You know, that'd be crazy. But going to the Battlefield event was really cool as well, and getting to play the game early. I know there's a bunch of Battlefield fanboys that are super jealous of me right now, and I definitely, you know, practiced the game a little bit and played it probably for a few hours, quite a few hours actually, and I got to know the game, and I think it's a pretty good game if you are a Battlefield fan. But that'll all come out once they send me the gameplay. I'm going to make a full video, you know, a little video talking about Battlefield and what I thought about the my experience at the event and all that sort of stuff. But today's video was obviously about Call of Duty and the Vesper, and that's what you guys have. The community challenge in Black Ops 3, a lot of people have been talking, I talked about that in my last video, where we have to play 350 million games or 1,000 games, something crazy like that. I don't even remember, but we're like 10 or 15% done the community challenge. I don't know if we're going to actually hit the community challenge done by September 2nd. I think we will. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will. I'm pretty sure they set it up so that we will hit it, you know, on the average amount of games people play. We will hit it before Call of Duty XP, because that would be, like, imagine how much of a disappointment that is. People grind the game, people play the game for 2 weeks straight, and then we get to, like, 99%, and the contract ends, and no one gets the boxing gloves. That would be such a disappointment. That would actually be kind of funny on how dumb that is. But I think that, you know, 90%, they've set it up. accordingly so that we will get the boxing gloves. You know, Call of Duty is already known for disappointing their fans, and I don't think they'd want to do that again, especially, you know, leading up to the Call of Duty XP event, which I will be at. And I encourage any of you guys, I think you have to be 18 plus, but if you're in the LA area or anywhere in, you know, California around there, come out to COD XP. It's gonna be a pretty cool event, and I'm sure you guys will love it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's video. If you guys made it to the end of the video, please comment saying Vesper down in the comment section down below. Also, be sure to drop a like on this video. I would appreciate if we could, you know, smash up to 2,000 likes. That would be absolutely awesome. And if you guys are interested in getting free Call of Duty points and earning free COD points just by downloading a few apps, there's a link in the description in all my videos to a way where you can actually earn free COD points. Definitely click on that, install the app, and start earning your points. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for a cookie, and don't looky, and I'm out. Peace.